achieve their dream of becoming either prophets or sharper prophets. And here I want to extend the same opportunity to somebody, men and women of God alike, who are on the platform. Is forensic prophecy, that is ability to prophesy at fine detailed level, picking minute details, so to say, is it scriptural? The answer is yes. Does God want us to be able to prophesy to the point where we are able to prophesy what somebody ate in the morning, is going to eat after the church service, what time they slept, what time they read what or did what, when they took in, as a lady who is pregnant, the day you took in, how many months old is the baby in the womb, for the number of months, number of weeks, number of days, so that the person knows exactly when they are going to give birth, to tell the sex of the baby in the womb, fetus in the womb. How old is the fetus in the womb of the woman or person you are prophesying to as an individual, as a prophet or prophetic person? Are all these things okay? Please, are we still having problem with sounds? Or is from one end? Okay. So, the point will be that so there is a point we're driving at there. Is this correct? That's the question. Is it correct at all for somebody to prophesy to that depth? It's correct. Because people who don't prophesy say these things. It's not necessary to go that deep. It's not necessary to do that depth of prophecy and so on and so forth. It's necessary. Why? Because Jesus did it. Where? John chapter 1. Repeat it again, James. Repeat it again. So, Jesus did it himself. In John chapter 1, you remember that when this guy by the name, the disciple of Jesus Christ by the name Philip, found the man by the name Nathanael and brought Nathanael to Jesus. Jesus did forensic prophecy there and called name. Yes, he called name. And I'm going there. Let's try to pick that out from Jesus' conversation with Nathanael. In John chapter 1 and verse 47, Jesus saw Nathanael coming. That's when Philip brought him. And said unto him, Behold, an Israelite indeed, in which is no guile. In verse 48, Nathanael said unto him, Where do you know me? And Jesus answered and said unto him, Before Philip called you, when you were under the fig tree, I saw you. That is calling name and prophesying. Jesus was not there. How did he know the name of the tree under which the man was picked from or called from? Emmanuel what? To do what? Emmanuel Akpasi, can you share your screen, please? So, you get that. Jesus prophesied here. This man was coming to him, and Nathanael was coming. Where were you coming from? Under a fig tree. That was where Philip saw you. So Jesus prophesied, mentioned the name. It's the same thing as me seeing you coming to me, and I mentioned the name of your mother. I saw you when you were sitting with your mother. The name of your mother is Margaret. That's exactly what Jesus did there. Nothing different. When he prophesied to Nathanael. So he did it himself. So when somebody tells you that, is it correct to do forensic prophecy and call name? It's correct. Is it possible? It's possible. Because Jesus said, what I do, greater things than these, you will also do. Going into forensic depth, is it necessary? The other place, again, is in John chapter 4. We saw Jesus in John chapter 4 with the woman of Samaria. When he interacted with this woman, and he asked the woman of Samaria in John chapter 4, he said, go and call your husband. That was what Jesus said. And the woman said, no, no, no. I do not have husband. Yes. And Jesus said, you are correct. That's in verse 16 of John chapter 4. Verse 16. Jesus said unto her, go and call your husband and come. Verse 17. And the woman answered and said, I have no husband. Jesus said unto her, you have well said, I have no husband, for you have had 5 husbands. So Jesus knew exactly the number of the husbands. 5 of them. You had 5 husbands. He mentioned it by himself, indicating that he knew it. And that was prophecy that he did, giving us the exact number of the husbands that this woman had previously had. You've had 5 husbands, and he whom you now have is not your husband, that you say truly. Then the woman became shocked. The woman said unto him, sir, I perceive you are a prophet. It was there that this woman was convinced about Jesus, ran to the city, called her people, told them, come see a man who told me everything I've done in life. So prophecy now turned this woman into an evangelist. So when we prophesy at a forensic depth, what we achieve is that we bring people, that is, the people become more convinced about the Jesus you are talking about. It becomes easier for you to tell them that Jesus is coming back again, and they believe. Heaven is real, hell is real, and they believe. The mic? Is it, can you get the sound? Is it okay? Somebody complained about sound there. Is the sound on? Muted? Is it muted? Because they're talking about restore sound. Restored? Okay, we can move on. All right. So Jesus told the woman exactly, for those who didn't hear that part, how many husbands she had had by number. That shocked her. She now said, come and see a man who told me everything I've done. That depth to which Jesus went broke her. She broke up. That is down for Jesus. Believed now the message Jesus had. It became easy for Jesus now to win her over, and then had her become Jesus' evangelist into the city. So she was able to draw people onto Jesus as a result. That's the point I want to hit here. So Jesus himself did that depth of prophecy in terms of telling us numbers. Then he told us again that he was going to die, and 3 days later was going to be raised back to life. He was able to count the number of days later. When he prophesied to Peter, he was able to tell us how many times he said, you will deny me 3 times. Number 1, 2, 3 times. He counted them. Then he said, before the rooster crows 2 times. Can you see? With reference to 2 times crowing of the rooster, you will deny me 3 times. He made his point clear at that instance. So prophecy can go to that depth. That is what I want us to understand here. But how is it done? How can you, as a person, begin to prophesy to the point where you can prophesy names and numbers? Are you with me? If you are with me, please reply with the comment section. Are you with me? Just write I'm with you. If you are listening, keep commenting. Let me see you, your comments. Yes, I'm with you. Yes, yes, yes. Let's get those yes. How can I get to that point? How can I activate myself to prophesy to that point? That's the point we're looking at. There are two kinds of people in the body of Christ who are prophets or are prophetic. There are those who are called to be prophets. Okay? There are those who are called to be prophets. Then there are those who are given the ability to prophesy by at the level of their gift, spiritual gift. Those who are called to be prophets can prophesy and be introduced into the prophetic office. These people are more liable to be able to call names and numbers. Those who are to prophesy by the aid, use of, or engagement of spiritual gifts, including the spiritual gift of prophecy, word of knowledge, word of wisdom. These ones may be able to call names, but it's going to be occasional. They'll be able to call names and numbers, but it's going to be occasional. Among those people that I said are destined or called to be prophets, we have two of them again. We have those among them who are the called prophets. We have those among them who are the chosen prophets. The chosen prophets are the ones that are referred to as the born prophets by some. These ones who are the chosen prophets are those ones that can even prophesy, almost prophesy before they get born again. So the moment they get born again, they can prophesy like crazy on their own. The moment they get born again, they can prophesy like crazy. So there are those guys who are in that capacity. And they can begin to call names without being taught at times. In most cases, these ones don't even need anybody to put them through. An example of such people in the Bible is Elijah. And then Moses. These ones are chosen prophets. Elijah and Moses, chosen prophets. You see, these ones don't necessarily need a prophetic figure or mentor or teacher per se to make them be able to prophesy and at a forensic level, like being able to call names and numbers. If you're following, right? Yes. Let me go get you there. Right? Yes, if you're following. You get that? So, you need to know which category, which type you are. Because as you are watching me right now, listening to me right now, some of you are chosen prophets. If you trace your life from childhood, you were already able to prophesy, and even in depth. And maybe you don't have the knowledge of the prophetic enough, so you have not been able to develop it. It's not that you cannot do it. You can. These are the people in that category. One of these prophets, Prophet Shepherd Bushiri, said when he was in the primary school, he was already able to call names in the primary school. I have one prophet here in Nigeria, Prophet Ocho Male. He said at the age of 9 he was doing it already. So these ones are chosen prophets. We have Moses and Elijah who are chosen prophets. Even though they are chosen prophets, they are still two types of prophets again. Two kinds of prophets. Chosen prophets, Moses and Elijah. Moses and Elijah are still, Elijah is a kingly prophet. Moses is a priestly prophet. Kingly prophets, they talk authoritatively. They speak for God, defend God. They interfere in civic cases confront authorities. Priestly prophets concern themselves with issues around reconciling people with God. They are meek, hardly back or bite. That's Moses. And then concern himself with how can I reconcile the people. So he wants to plead God on behalf of the people. That's Moses' role. But Elijah is to prove God before the people. If you don't respect my God, let fire. You see, he said, do you know whose servant I am? If I be a man of God, let fire come down from heaven and consume you. That's not Moses. Moses, God said, I want to destroy these people. Moses said, please, don't destroy them. If not, the people will say that you have not been able to take care of them. That's why you destroy them. Can you get that? So that's the difference between the two of them. But the two of them are chosen prophets. Then we have the other prophets who are the called prophets. Most of us are called prophets. These ones are not born prophets. Over time, either you are called directly to prophesy by God. Like for me, he said, go prophesy to the dry bones. But there are those who even are called into ministry. You don't even know you are going to prophesy, but you grow gradually and begin to have affinity for prophecy after your calling. These ones are the called prophet, and you begin to have that kind of sensation in you that I am to prophesy. That urge, that leading, that hunger to prophesy and in depth, you don't feel fulfilled until you attend to it. That's this category of prophets. So most of us are called prophets. Now, the people that find it very easy to prophesy and call names and numbers are the chosen prophets. They are the ones that are called the born prophets. See, when God spoke to Moses about people or places to go to, he will speak to him with names. That's because Moses was that class of prophet. Yes. So, but for the called prophets, an example, typical example in the Bible is Elisha. He did carried double portion of Elijah's spirit, did perhaps double of what Elijah did, yet he needed somebody like Elijah to have him activated, train and empower him so that he could do it. So Elisha is an example of a called prophet who was in turn a kingly prophet. A called prophet, at the same time a kingly prophet in the way he operated, prophetic operation. He was a kingly prophet. He was as authoritative as his master Elijah, but he was not a chosen prophet. He was a called prophet, but a kingly prophet. And he too was forensic when he prophesied. He said, to the woman of Shunem, when you read 2 Kings chapter 4 and verse 15 and 16, this man told the woman of Shunem, at about this time next year, you shall embrace a son. Specific timing. 12 months from today, you are ready with a child. That's exactly what he said. Exactly the same thing the angels told Abraham and Sarah in Genesis chapter 18 and verse 10. When they said, at about this time next year, your wife Sarah will be with a son. So his prophecy had angelic depth. That's Elisha. And it came to pass that the woman actually of Shunem gave birth as Elisha prophesied, given specific time when this thing was going to happen. If you're following me, let me see your right ears there. If you're following, let me see your right ears there. So whether you are called or you are born, you can prophesy at a forensic depth. You can prophesy names and numbers. So you ask me, Apostle Raymond, are you a chosen prophet or you are a called prophet? I am a called prophet. By the way, Apostle Raymond, are you an apostle or a prophet? Because some of you here are apostles. Some of you here are bishops. Some of you here are reverends. Some of you here are pastors, evangelists, and so on. Well, the apostle has got a prophet in him. So that's the key issue. Apostles are teachers. At the same, an apostle is a teacher, a prophet, a pastor, and an evangelist. Then a prophet. That's what an apostle is. So I'm using the teaching aspect to do this. When it comes to prophecy, then I become a prophet and prophesy. And by the way, I'm an apostle with a prophetic mandate. Because the mandate is prophesy to the dry bones. Touch the world at large. And in the process of time, he said, raise me prophets across the world. And by God's grace, we've been doing it. So I think this foundation is clear for you. The next point is, so for those of you who are apostles, check out whether you have these things there. You are a teacher, you are a pastor, you are an evangelist, and you are a prophet. And for those of you who already know you are prophets, good. And for those of you who are pastors, there are pastors who have the prophetic gift mix. You are very sure you are a pastor. There are pastors who have prophetic gift mix. Yes. So there are pastors who are prophetic. And some of you here have not known your calling too. Because that will determine the depth you can go to. You don't know exactly your call. I think over time, as we continue to interact, you will have the opportunity for me to meet with you one-on-one and tell you whether you are a prophet or an apostle or evangelist or a pastor. You will have the opportunity to meet with me one-on-one if there's a need for me to help you out with that. Because there are people who don't know. I was in Mozambique one of these days, and I took my time, 18 days, and I told God, is this person, am I a prophet or an apostle? It was there he said to the matter, I said, you are an apostle but with a prophetic mandate. And I got okay. Because that also has to do with your functionality as a prophetic figure. So we are not doing that today. We are dealing with the issue of how to call names and numbers. So what does it take to do that? Let me rush there. What does it take to call names and numbers? The first thing I want us to look at there is this. I have trained prophets on the job. Some of them, I trained them working with me for over 13 to 15 years. Because by the grace of God, I've done 2 decades plus in ministry. By the grace of God. So some of them worked with me side by side, so on the job training. And I trained them and I knew what it took them to come there. And then what it took me as a person to come there. Now, was I prophesying from the beginning? When God said, come prophesy to the dry bones, the answer is yes, but limited. I want to use myself as an example to you so that you know that you can do it, okay? I was prophesying, but it was limited. I was prophesying a little here, a little there, because I was not yet in the prophetic office. So even if God called you as a prophet, you are going to be introduced to the prophetic office first before you can prophesy anytime, anywhere to anybody without missing it. And it's a process. It's not overnight. That's why I'm here to guide you without missing it when it comes to going to depths. I hope somebody's learning there. If you are learning right, yes. If you are learning right, yes. Then, the next thing to know is this. Just as you have physical senses, we have prophetic senses. For you to be able to, the prophetic realm is a world where prophets plunge into to be able to see, perceive, and do everything connected with prophecy. And for you to be able to interact with that realm, you will have to have your prophetic senses activated. So we have got the prophetic sense of sight that is meant to have me see. So that's why when I look at somebody, let me give you this example, like a woman who is pregnant, I look at you, I can look past your skin into your womb to see the baby in the womb and then be able to see the sex of the child. Some of them who are in this studio have watched me right before their presence. I look at somebody and say, can I scan that baby in your womb? And the person say yes. Okay, I move my hand this way. And it's like the baby turns. And then I say the sex is a male child. You are giving birth on Wednesday next week at so time. And you see the testimony follows there. Like that, by the grace of God. Anyway, but I was not prophesying like that from the beginning. So when people say that they need to go to some altars, that is demonic altar, to use water, is it dog water, whatever, initiation, whatever they call it. You use salt, you bait, you use this, you use that. Please and please, brethren, you don't need these things before you prophesy. The word will make you prophesy. I am an example, a witness to that. The word of God, the Bible you have, will make you prophesy, and with 100% accuracy. The person sitting before you today, by the grace of God, I have never, not because it is wrong, I have never in my whole ministerial life slept on the mountain one day. Not one day. Never. Because I don't want, when I begin to explode, somebody will say, after all, he went to this place, went to that place. No, I want to have a transparent record of my work with God, so that people know that this thing can happen from God and pure. So I was not prophesying before this way, but I'm prophesying today like crazy. You too can do it. That's why you are here. And the reason why you click this thing is that you are prophetic. If you're not prophetic, God will not even allow you to click and be part of this meeting. I think that solves a question that somebody might want to ask already. So your prophetic senses have to be activated. You've got the prophetic sense of sight. If it is not it is there. If it is not activated, you cannot see in the spirit. And then even when the prophetic sense of sight is activated, there are levels of seeing in the realm of the spirit. First you see vague, then you see in blocks. Then you see in another phase, vague, in block. Then you see dispatch objects in the spirit realm or in the prophetic realm. And then the last thing is forensic seeing, where if the name is John, you just see name. The third stage, if the name is John, you can see J here, O there, M there, N there, H there, mixed with other letters in the realm of the spirit, and then they are individually highlighted. So you pick J here, O there, N there, H there, and N there, and you say your name is John, and the person say yes. These are objects that have been made blocks. That is the letters of the name are now like blocks that you have to have them either highlighted or zoom in the realm of the spirit. They just zoom spontaneously. And you have to be smart enough to be able to add them together to make a name. If it is joy, there will be J-O-Y, but there will be other letters mixed with it. You are going to be smart enough to be able to pick J-O-Y as they are highlighted in series in the midst of other letters. That's the third stage of seeing. But in the final stage of seeing, which is forensic seeing, you are able to identify J-O-Y written straight like that in front of you or wherever it will be written. Because there are places I'll teach you about, if God allows us, where you see these things, how they appear in the realm of the spirit. The next is people can call names. So I can call names by seeing, right? And that is when I can see the name written, just as I just said. If you are in the first stage of seeing, where I talked about vague seeing, you may be able to see things like light flash, but you'll not be able to see the real object, okay? You may be able to see something like a dark spot. You may be able to see something like superimposition on the wall. So you are seeing somebody, you see something like something just pass in front of them, but not the full stuff. That's the first phase of seeing. The next one is that you see these things in block as they are, but you cannot make letters out of them to make name or number. Is that understood? But in the final stage of seeing, if somebody was born on 22nd June 2002, you are able to see it as written like that in full. That's the second stage of seeing. Okay? The final stage of seeing, forensic seeing, I call it. Then we have the prophetic sense of sound. All the prophetic senses are tools. So some people can call names by hearing. And even at hearing, we have levels of hearing. So not all prophets are at the same level of hearing. And that's why not all prophets can hear at the same level. Let me use Jesus' example and the apostles. In John chapter 12, Jesus was with them as he was near the end of his ministry. And a voice thundered from heaven. When Jesus said, glorify me with the glory with which I had with you from the beginning, God said, I've glorified you and I'll glorify you again. Do you know what the disciples said? They said that it thundered. They heard the sound, but they didn't get the words of the sound. But Jesus was able to get the words. What they heard was thunder. But what God said was, I have glorified you and I'll glorify you again. So they couldn't hear that. At their level of hearing at that time, they were still at vague hearing. So you see somebody who is a prophetic person like you saying that I heard a sound. I woke up in the morning, boom, in the realm of the spirit. You hear sound, boom, or some sort of strange sound. It's God talking, but you have not come through the stage of hearing to the place where you can make out what the sound is communicating. Actually, God is talking, but you have not been able to know exactly what he's saying. So it will just be like vague sound that doesn't make meaning. But when you are already in the third or final stage of hearing, because you hear at vague hearing, then faint hearing, where the sound will come clear, supposed to be clear, but it can be fainty. So you will be like, you're hearing it, but it's too low that you can't pick every detail that you are hearing. The third phase of hearing is what I call clear audio. This one is the one where you are hearing that is loud enough, but there are other background noise interfering with what you are hearing. So you can prophesy names and numbers at this level. But the final stage of hearing is where you hear at forensic level, where no noise, nothing can interfere. This can only happen when you have come through the stage where you have been able to identify the voice of God, your voice, and Satan's voice. Because right where you are, three voices are always battling with you as you begin in the prophetic. The voice of God, your voice, and your voice. Which one is the correct one? Which one is God's voice? So people struggle to know which one is God's voice. And that's why when somebody say your name is Joy, the person say, no, my name is Belinda, or my name is Joyce. Because your voice is saying joy. The other voice is saying joy. You see, there's that conflict, and you don't know which one is God's voice, so you don't know which one to amplify. So by the grace of God, if we have the opportunity, I'm going to put you to how to be able to distinguish between God's voice, your voice, Satan's voice, because the three will always battle. That's why people say they can't prophesy when they hear, because there are voices contending or competing a place in their mind. Hope somebody's learning something. If you are, right, yes, there. So that's another prophetic sense. We have the prophetic sense of touch. For me, how I got to discover the prophetic sense of touch in use before I got back to the Bible and then checked it out and discovered it was there was this. I will prophesy to people thinking that I finished prophesying. Then I come close to lay my hand on you to heal you. Maybe I prophesy that you have cancer and you confirm that there's cancer, and then I come close to you and I say, let me lay my hand on you to pray. The moment I lay my hand on you to pray, I'll now begin to hear another voice. Hold on. And then another detail that I didn't prophesy, even deeper and deeper than what I prophesied in the first time will come. Indicating that the moment I touched, there was a connection that brought in more details, forensic details about these people to me. So I tested it over and over, and I discovered it was working. Then I remembered in scripture, yes, that the angel, that came to Daniel happened to touch him, and that was an angel, and that was a touch in the spirit realm, and Daniel was able to know an angel that had no body touched him. That was a spirit. Okay? And then when Jesus was touched by the woman with the issue of blood, the woman did not tell Jesus, but Jesus knew that a different touch happened to me. So his prophetic sense of touch was active. He was able to know that that touch was a unique one. prophetically he was able to decode it. And when he had asked who touched me, and nobody was able to know who touched him, do you know what Jesus did? He turned around. The Bible said that he was about to see the person that touched him. My God. He was about, that means that even if the woman had not said, I touch you, Jesus was going to tell them who touched, because of the prophetic sense that he had used to discover. That touch was discovered through the prophetic sense of touch. So I came to realize that yes, if you have your microphone on, please mute it. I came to realize that for prophetic people, this is your normal sense of touch, okay, that come from your brain, ran through your spinal cord, came out through the meninges, came through your body as dendrites, and is on the surface of your body, has got ability to communicate and transmit an spiritual message to your mind for immediate interpretation, to the level where even the hair of your body can pick prophecy. And even off your hair, I mean, a distance away from your body, it can pick prophecy. Because there are extensions that are called prophetic receptors. That's prophetic antenna on your prophetic receptor, connected to your prophetic sense, the specific prophetic sense that you're going to be using, which is now, in this case, the prophetic sense of touch, that now carries the message to the mind, and the mind carries it to your subconscious memory. Are you getting what I'm saying? Remember that the seat of the Spirit is in the mind, and that is where the Holy Spirit sits himself. So the moment the information reaches the mind, the Spirit picks it, the Holy Spirit picks it up there. It is there that from your subconscious memory, the Spirit of God picks something that was stored there related to what you have just picked from the outside and interpret the message that came. And then you look at the person and you say, you have stomach ulcer. And the person say, how do you know it? Stomach ulcer. It was because you touched, and the message passed through your prophetic sense of touch. God bless you greatly. I hope you're learning something there. It's your special time. God bless you. So let me move to the next prophetic sense. Because of time, we have the prophetic sense of taste, of smell rather, to be activated. So some people can call names using the prophetic sense of touch. Okay? When the angel touched Daniel, Daniel was able to know who exactly touched him, okay? And there are times when something touch you, you'll be able to know something touched me, like the hand of somebody, because you know what the touch of a hand feels like. And this touch is in the spirit, and it touches you, you know exactly what kind of touch you just felt. That's a secret there. Then the prophetic sense of smell works in two ways. You are able to perceive an odor, let me say formalin or odor of mortuary, and it will mean that somebody is about to die. You get me? Or you perceive the odor of a particular perfume which the name of that perfume you already know, and you tell this person this is the perfume you use. Let's say Malaysia. And the person did not use Malaysia on this day. Let me say this person used Malaysia as a perfume 3 months ago, and you say Malaysia is what you use. The person came close. 3 months ago, the odor is already gone, but you look at the person, you perceive the odor of Malaysia and say you use Malaysia, and the person say yes. 3 months ago, the person say yes. How did you pick it? Odor. The other way it works is perception. The prophetic sense of smell works perception. When Jesus perceived what they were thinking, it's that way. So it has to be activated for you to be able to call names and numbers. Lastly is the prophetic sense of that is relevant for calling names. The prophetic names of sense of what? Taste. So I come close to you. I taste it. My mouth tastes sugary. It will be meant for interpretation. So I call these ones how do I call it? Primitive prophetic sense. Taste and smell. I call them primitive prophetic senses. because they need interpretation. I come close to you and now my mouth feels sour. Sour. I come close to you, my mouth feels salty. These ones need interpretation to give me the name or whatever prophecy I'm going to do there. The other one that is also useful is the one that is called proprioceptive. This one helps us to navigate. And if we are able to navigate, we're able to come to, let me say, when somebody say, can I go to your house? Like I do. I prophesy to somebody, I say, can I go to your house? Can I enter your bedroom? I'm engaging the prophetic sense of the proprioceptive prophetic sense. That's what I'm using. It is responsible for balance and then help you to be transported in the realm of the spirit without challenge. Glory be to God. So that's that prophetic sense. So for the prophetic senses that are relevant for name calling and numbers, leading prophetic senses here is sight and sound and then touch and smell. The leading is sight and sound. I call sight the leading prophetic sense. Then sound follows. I want to stop there. These are only tools. You now make use of these tools in what we call prophetic codes. Chords. Prophetic chords is what the Spirit of God paints out for you to see in the spirit. Like if I'm to see your mother or your father or your uncle or your office. In the realm of the spirit, your office is not necessarily going to appear here in front of me. I can see these things painted out for me in the spirit, and I look at it and say, this is your mother. This is called chords. And what enabled me to be able to see it is my prophetic sense of sight. If I'm able to hear that picture talk to me, or movie, like a television screen, a vision kind, open vision in the spirit when I'm prophesying, if I'm able to make that your mother that I'm seeing in the spirit standing by you and then talk to me in the spirit realm as I prophesy to you, that is because I'm engaging the prophetic sense of sound and I'm interacting with prophetic chord. So if I'm going to prophesy to you and give you details, I'm going to have access to your prophetic chord. It is these prophetic chords that are now engaged in what we call prophetic code. So in prophetic code, to give you a very simple description of what a prophetic code is, because many of you already have used prophetic codes. 46 of them, and some of them can be used for calling names and numbers, okay? A prophetic codes are like hotel room that have 46 rooms, okay? When I enter into room 1, it's like I'm entering into prophetic code number 1. If I can see a television on the wall in that room 1, and I say that is television, I've called it the name of something, okay? That means I've engaged prophetic code 1 to tell you the name of your first daughter, television. And then I see the bed that is there, and I tell you the bed and the color of the bed that is there. That's in that room 1. So I've been able to, through the help of prophetic code 1, see your name. The name, let me say, that bed I see can now be your child, second child. So everything in that room that I'm seeing there are the prophetic chords. So chords are seen inside prophetic code. If there are things I can't see in this room 1, I have to go to room 2. Then maybe the television I'm going to see in room 2 is going to be green in color, or red in color, or brown in color. So there is a difference between the engagement of prophetic code number 2 and prophetic code number 1. That's it. Is that taken? So there are specific prophetic codes that allow you to be able to call names and numbers. So the first thing is, let the prophetic senses be activated. The second thing is that you should be able to appreciate prophetic chords These are the object things that God shows you in the spirit to be able to appreciate either with your sense of sight or sound or touch. Then the last step is for you to be able to engage the specific prophetic codes that enable you to call names and numbers, which can now be, let's say, prophetic code of Gezin, the one Elisha used when Gehazi went out to see Naaman and to receive gifts. So the man, Gehazi came and said, "Where have you been?" And he told him, "I went nowhere." And he said, "Don't you know that my mind went out with you when the man turned to give you this and that?" So he was forensic. He knew the gifts that the guy received. Gehazi received. He knew. That's the prophetic sense of Gezin. Another place Elisha used the same prophetic sense was when the king of Syria came to him, the servant of the king, to inquire whether the king was going to survive of the sickness he had fallen into at that time or not. And then the prophet said, "He's going to die. Let him prepare his house. But as for you," when he looked at the man, the prophet Elisha looked at this young man, the servant of the king, he cried, wept. He looked at him to the point, the Bible said, he looked at him until he began to cry. And then the servant of the king said, what's the matter? I said, "Your master is going to die. You are going to become the next king, and you are going to kill, rape pregnant women open in Israel." Exactly what this guy was going to do the moment he becomes the king of Syria. Prophet Elisha detailed it. How did he get it? He looked at this guy until his prophetic cord, that is, his prophetic, the prophetic opened for him, and he began to see the prophetic realm open, and he began to see everything about him. So in Gezin, which is prophetic code number 2, you look at somebody until their prophetic particulars or prophetic file open, and then when you look at them, you are able to see even the name, even the university they graduated from, where they dropped out, which secondary school or primary school they dropped out of. That is because your senses were activated, have been activated, and now you can use codes in prophecy to get these things. So that's one of the prophetic codes that will help you to call names and numbers, the prophetic code of Gezin. And then another prophetic code that will help you to call names and numbers is the prophetic code of proximity, where I prophesy because we're in the same, you are with me in the same, like, let me say, in this studio. Or I prophesy because you are in the church hall, I'm in the church hall, and my prophetic receptors are active. So I can, the moment I come to you, I can either perceive your name or hear your name or see your name. And that's not when I come too close. I can be 3 feet, 4 feet, 5 feet away from you in the church hall. But it has to be that you are within the same place with me, at least the same circumference. Outside that circumference, you can't engage prophetic code number 1 again to prophesy. In code number 2, I said, you must look at this person protractedly. In code number 1, you look at this person glance. In code number 2, you look until your spiritual eye picks it up from there. Then you begin to see what the physical eyes can no longer see. And this now confirms to you that your spiritual eyes have been unlocked. That is how it happens. And then you begin to see. So, that's the point. I think I've given you some relevant details here. We have other prophetic senses, like code, the prophetic code of shadow. In the prophetic code of shadow, I am able to prophesy to you because I come close to you. My shadow pass over you. Like Peter's shadow was made to pass over people and they were healed. Your shadow touching people can also activate the prophetic, they open up their prophetic file for you to see. The other prophetic code that you can use to call names and numbers is what is called the prophetic code of prophetic questions, where you look at somebody and you are seeing nothing and you ask them, what is your name? Or can I prophesy to you? Where are you coming from? Okay. Have you been coming to this church before? Do you come with somebody? All these things are not just questions you ask for nothing. The Spirit prompts you. Ask this question. The moment you ask and the person answers A or B, their prophetic file opens and then you begin to prophesy. You see things that you were not seeing about them with absolute clarity. That's how it happens. So, how do we do this thing? Somebody, I think I'm going to allow you to ask questions this time. I'm going to allow you to ask questions. I'm going to allow you to ask questions. Because your questions are going to be relevant. I think anything I'm going to say else is going to be what you are going to ask already. So, by the grace of God, I call names and numbers by the grace of God. I was not calling names and numbers before, like I said. But by the grace of God, over time, I call names and numbers. I predict duration of pregnancies. I predict even what you eat. How many pepper you have in your refrigerator? How many onions you have on your table? How many rubber of rice or bags of rice you have in your house? I do those things by the grace of God. Yes. And then even go as far as giving you your PIN code. One of these days, I was with my father 2 years ago, with my biological father. His phone was coded. That is it password? I picked it, and I opened it, and I showed him. So he was surprised. And he decided to use pattern lock so that I will not get it again. I picked it again the next day when I visited him. I picked it again right in his presence. I opened it with the pattern lock. Then he knew that it's now dangerous. So prophets are actually hackers. Prophets are hackers. God bless you. I want to hear questions. I want to hear questions. You can raise your hand. Please, everybody who is raising their hand, touch that hand raise button. Pastor Alex, touch that hand raise button and bring it down. Or do you want to talk? Pastor John David, touch that hand raise button and let it leave the screen so that we can know those people who want to ask questions. Luis, Alex, do you want to ask a question? Ask. So that I don't prolong the meeting again. In your interest, I have developed, are you getting me? A strong certificate course in forensic prophecy, pre-recorded, you take at your own time. But within the period of 15 days, then a practical coaching period of 9 days. Yes. And this now places you in a position to prophesy with ease. Okay? Many have taken that course. I have a Pastor Benga in Abuja who said, while he was taking the course, the second, that is, before the 5th day in the course, he said, I was already picking names and numbers. Then after the certificate course in forensic prophecy, I have the course called the Diploma Certificate in Forensic Prophecy that is for professionals and very simplified and very detailed. So you can now, you ask for details at the end of the course. That one is for only 16 days, but it has no practical coaching because it's built on the foundation of what you are doing in the certificate course. No matter where you have studied prophecy on earth, by the grace of God, taking my course is still a different issue. I'm going to allow you to ask questions, please, in a moment. It's still a different issue altogether. I've had people who studied under Prophet Hubert Angel. He's a great man of God. He is my man of God. Are you getting me? And I've had them come back to me and study under me and said, we didn't get this thing when we studied under Prophet Hubert Angel. People who have studied under Prophet Java have a lot of Prophet Java passions, sons in the Lord, whom I have trained by the grace of God. By the grace of God. Java passion. Trained a lot of his sons in the Lord. And Prophet Hubert Angel, many have taken his course and come back to me to be trained. From the UK, from the United States, at least. Most of my students are from the United States. Yes. So, that have graduated. And you see that they take the first course and they go straight to take the diploma certificate course immediately. Because they don't want to waste time. It's like the Americans want to take the world, the prophetic. Because the way the Americans are crazy about prophecy today, I'm shocked. Because they are the main people studying prophecy to the last depth, and they catch it very easily. You see them prophesying when I train them with serious ease. That's how it happens. So I'm going to answer your question. Somebody said, how can I be activated, right? That's a question. Each of the prophetic senses have a different way of activating them, but for the purpose of this class, I'm going to answer you a single answer. If some, do we allow them to talk? Is somebody talking there? Okay, after the training, yes, we do practical coaching after the certificate course. It's 9 days practical coaching. The last day is impartation. Please mute your mic. After the training, my training is practical oriented, mind you. So every day you are doing my course is practical oriented. You have PDF note attached to each of the videos, 15 videos, 15 days, 40 minutes to 1 hour long. And you have access to the videos at your own time. The PDF is like word for word with the videos, and the PDF become your property forever. Everything I say in the video is almost what is I've written down in the PDF. Yes, exactly as it is in the video, that's what it is on the PDF. So I give you the video, give you the PDF, and it's a period of 15 days. That's only Monday to Friday. And then you meet with me on Friday for meeting like this. Ask me questions. Everything you study from Monday to Friday, ask me questions. And I answer you like this. Then you share your experience with me. Yes. Then the next week, Monday to Friday, you take your video 1 to 5 again. Then we meet like this on Friday. It's usually decided by the people in that class or that batch what time is suitable for you. Sometimes I can go extra mile because I want to make it work for you, so that the time we fix should be suitable for you, so that you can have an interaction with me for the second week too. Then the third week we'll do the same thing. After the 5 videos in the third week again, you meet with me like this for interaction, and you ask me all of your questions, and I answer you from what you have studied. And my training, mind you, are practical, and they are savored with impartation, okay? You can be studying my video, watching my video, and fall under anointing. That's normal. You can be watching my video and your eyes will snap open, your spiritual eyes will snap open. So that's how it happens. The class videos. All right. Okay, another question. Please, any other person who is not talking, mute the mic. Yes. I am in Lagos. Impartation, we do it on this platform. Like this. I will accept you. I will accept you. You are in Lagos. I am planning to see how we can have a prophetic conference by the end of the year, where we have prophets drawn from around the world to Nigeria. Here in Lagos. Yes. As a myself, I am in Lagos. That one we'll discuss at a personal level. Yes. And I take people serious only when they have taken the step of seriousness, okay? Like you've subscribed. Okay, okay. I think those people on the YouTube are not getting those questions. All right, thank you very much. When you have signed up for a training, I now know that this person is serious because I've had too many people who are not serious. The training is paid for, okay? It's a paid for training. I'm going to tell you the cost of the training. And then I'll tell you what I'll do for you. Those of you who are on this platform for today. Because there's going to be difference. Yes, question. Yeah. All right. I'm listening. Okay. Let's talk about how to be activated first. I'm coming there. Yes, I've gotten your question. I'm going to answer that. I've gotten your question. I'm going to answer that. It's like only he is not getting us. I'm going to answer your question. Yes. Someone else question. Pastor Alex again. Okay, this is Abraham talking. Pastor Abraham. I'm listening. Pastor Abraham, I can hear you. We can hear you. Okay. Okay, let me come. Let me. That's that question. I'll answer it. Which one again? Okay. You want to see before? Yes, when you ask a question, please let us see you. You release your video when you're asking a question, okay? As for how to be activated, number one, listen to me before I allow the next person to ask question. How to be activated. Number one, study a Bible passage or Bible passages where the particular prophetic sense you want to be activated is engaged or was activated for somebody. Two, do a personal retreat for that purpose. 3, sit under somebody who already have his or her own activated, like you are doing now. Then there will be a transfer. I think I've given you 3, it's enough. Yes. 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 Yes, Pastor Alex. Oh, Pastor Alex again, they have overtaken you. Pastor Izuchuku, Izu. Hold on, let Alex talk first, then you come up. Yes, Alex, go on. Every other person mute. Alex Onoba. That your name is. Okay. I've gotten that. I've gotten the question. Let's listen to Pastor Izu before I tell you that, because that one can be answered. Yes, I'm with you. Sorry, Emeka, you can talk. Emeka first. Wow. Emeka. Okay, if Emeka is not talking, Bishop James. Yes, Bishop. Yes. 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 No. No. Okay.
For others, as they come, that is how we work out for them. What is the really cause? And the second one is that when I started, I mentioned it, but now it is gone. I don't know what.
All right, Bishop. No matter who we are, that's why we need mentors. The strongest among us need somebody, if you are lucky to have one, who who is above you. So that's the secret of this thing. Like you've asked question now, if we are close enough and we have enough time, I'm going to give you detailed analysis of why it is happening that way, okay? Yes. And I think with this meeting, we have initiated a relationship. And by the grace of God, I should be able to guide you. Because it's going to be elaborate. You need an elaborate step-by-step on information on what you are experiencing. And then how to overturn it. Yes. Does that make sense? Yes, thank you. Prince Izu. Yes, I'm with you. Come on, we are listening. You're welcome. I'm still listening. I'm coming to that. Yes. Prophet Victor? Yes. As a prophet,
What is your daily routine like? What do you do daily? What are the things you do daily that helps to increase or enhance the prophetic function upon your life? Thank you, sir.
I think I did a few videos on that already on ground. You will ask in the group and we'll drop the link for that so that you go and watch the video. I did a video of daily exercise of prophets. Then I did another one on smart exercise that the sharpest prophets do. So these two videos should be able to answer your question. If they don't answer, then you will still ask me maybe the other ones you need. But I'm very sure. Because daily as a prophet, I have to check whether I'm seeing or not. And I have how I get that. And some prophets who are already inclined to angelic visitation will make sure that they see an angel daily. Yes. That's to check their sight, to know that they are still sharp. And then some, for sound, they want to be sure that they've heard the voice every morning or every day. That's like sound check. Yes. And these things are scriptural. So there are about, I think at least a number of them, a lot of them. About 7 in one video and then about 4 in another video. There are things prophets, okay, the other one was up to 11 or thereabout. So there are things that prophetic people do every day to keep sharp. Apart from controlling the weight of the food you eat. And how much food you eat too. Sorry, when exactly you eat. Yes. Because that too is part of what we do. Somebody talked about, the question was, okay, where's somebody's talking? Is it Alale? Okay, Alex. Okay, the one you talked about, the course of the training. Well, the certificate course. Come on. I think you want to talk about demonstration. Maybe you ask in the group. Ask in the group so that we'll drop the link to that video. Yes, in the group. We'll drop the link so that you can click from there and go there. Let me make you understand something. I must say that I have strong respect to the caliber of the men of God on this platform. I hold all of you in high esteem. Some of you are older than me. Some of you are younger than me. We respect elders. And for people with gray hair to join any meeting, they are not there to play. So it's not play. It's not because you have too much time to waste that you have appeared on this platform. It is because you have a call and you are very sure that you need something from God still to make the call work. That's why you are connected here. And for anybody who is signing up, Apostle Raymond Ida is going to go extra mile to make sure that you get the desired result. You get what I'm saying? Even if it means that beyond meeting on Friday, like I said, after your classes, 5 classes, she are doing specific class again so that I can brush you properly. I'll do that. My concern is not how much you pay me. My concern is the result. Have you been able to prophesy and deeply? That's my question. Because if your church grows today, then my mission has been fulfilled. That's the secret. If the size, numerical strength of your ministry increase, then I'm fulfilled. Because, 1, more souls coming there means that I've won more souls. Number 2, it will even make you want to have me in that church one day. Because of the result. And if I come to that church, I should come and see a glorious church. Spiritually glorious, physically glorious. That's the goal. So that's how it starts. The certificate course in forensic prophecy, where I've trained by God's grace Nigerians too, and people from around the world, like I said. For Nigerians, it's $100. For other countries, $150. But if you are Nigerian, it's $100. For today, that's about 140,000 exchange rate. But even at that, when I look at Nigerians, knowing what stress it takes to start up ministry in this country, I still know what to do. And then Ghanaians, whether you are from Ghana, you are from Zambia, you are from South Africa, you are from Swaziland, Canada, UK. We have one person from UK here. If you are all from any of this country, I'm going to be doing flat consideration for everybody that joined this very webinar. I'm going to do something flat for all of you. I'm not going to treat Nigeria separate, Ghana separate, or anything. No. Can you get me? So that is it. There. Is the sound still there? If yes, write yes. Okay. Okay, so Izu, Alex, I want to give you liberty. The course, I've told you the price for the certificate course, okay? And the diploma is far higher. But even at that, yes, for the purpose of this class, I'm going to leave you people with a huge discount. The diploma training is outrightly $300 US. But for this class, I will see what I can do at the level of what we can agree with. Yes, so I'll not be taking it that way. The certificate course that is supposed to be 140, even at Nigerian discount rate, as opposed to 200 or something for other countries. For this meeting, Holy Spirit, teach me what to say. For this meeting. Okay, I'll leave it for you at 80. That's for Nigerians. I think for Ghana, discuss with me personally. And every other country. Zambia, discuss with me personally. Swaziland, discuss with me personally. $80,000. Yes. Discuss with me personally, don't worry. Discuss with me personally. Yes, everybody, if you want to sign up, just discuss with me personally. I will try to see how to help you go. Yes, because I'm committed to seeing you succeed. That's all. So I'm not, that I know what is the standard, what we do. There are evidence here, but there's no of alerts, of credit alerts. But that's not the problem. The issue is with this very webinar. I have my heart to treat you differently. So you contact me personally. I think I dropped from 140. I dropped how much? 60,000. But still, you can discuss with me personally, feel free, and I'll see what I'll be able to do for you. Then for the one that is $300, don't worry. Talk with me personally. I'll see how to help you. Yes, talk with me personally. I'll see how to help you. It's not going to be like, no, I know what to do. Yes. What's the question? Jawin? Yes, Pastor Alex, is it? Okay, Prince. Thank you very much. Can you release your video, Pastor Prince? Talk to us. Yes, we can see you.
Okay, so I have learned a lot this night. So, and through this teaching, there are some challenges personally that I'm having as well as a prophet. There are some challenges and which you have answered through the questions of through your teaching.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yes. Is it? Thank you very much. That's my commitment. Like I always tell people, whether you are signing up from US, you're signing up from UK, you're signing up from anywhere, the first thing I tell you is my goal is to see you do it. That's the first thing. It's not, yes, it's not the finance. That's why I don't tight it too much. Because I've had people telling me the weight of this course is what more than the cost. Prophet, how do you call him, Joshua Luna, the one you saw in that video, that testimonial. He has founded a prophetic school for over 30 years, 32 years now in the American world. When he joined my training, he said, Apostle, you are selling liquid gold, you are doing liquid gold for free, nearly free. And then his son in the Lord, the one he trained, is Prophet Kalel, who is the leading prophet in the Spanish world. You may check him on Google, on the internet too, Kalel. Yes. This guy also told me the same thing. But the target is to raise men first. When you raise men, those men will raise you. That's the issue. That's all. So most important thing is let me see people who are ready. Let me give you my special time. And then let's see the results. That's the target. The results. Yes. Yes, if you are not talking, mute your mic, please. Michael. Prophet Prince, can you mute your mic? Michael, we're listening to you. Michael, which country are you joining from? Victor, please mute your mic. Victor. Michael, you came late. Go to YouTube. Apostle Raymond Ida Ministries. Okay, the network was poor on YouTube. Okay, we will find a way. It's recorded. It's recorded, right? The video is recorded. We'll find a way. We will bring it back on YouTube. So keep demanding for it in the platform. On the platform. Then we will find a way of putting it up back on the YouTube. It's recorded. All right, when we come to the, how do you call it? The, is it a practical demonstration? Are you serious? You want to see before you believe? Let's go to class. Let's go to class. One of the things I want to make you understand is that it's not like what you call people to tell them maybe this thing can happen. I think you will send, who's that person? You can request for a video. Let them send you a link of one of my videos. Prophesy. I think I have hundreds of videos online where I'm prophesying. But at least they will see, they'll be able to give them a link of one or two where they see me prophesying and doing those things like crazy, okay? But beyond that, let's go to class, don't worry. Let's go to class. And watch me do it. But the person who asked that question, please demand for it again in the platform. We'll give you a link so that you can go at least spy up something, okay? Yes. All right. Do I still have another question? Evangelist Stanley Tedo. Are you asking a question? Favor. Stanley, we can't hear you. Stanley Tedo. All right. Do we have somebody who is asking questions to you? Stanley, can I hear your voice? Or Evangelist or Favor? Olamide? Most of you have your hands raised up. All right, I think we have exhausted. It's like Olamide want to talk, but his voice is not coming forward. Something like that. Remove the earpiece. Remove the earpiece if you want to talk, then unmute yourself and talk. Prince Chukudi. Pastor Prince Chukudi. Is it like the sound is not coming? Is he there? Pastor Prince Chukudi, are you there? Micah, can I hear your voice? The voice is not coming. Speak up. Okay, I can hear you now. I wanted to talk to Chukudi. Prince. Let me talk to Prince first. We have few minutes to shut down this meeting, okay? We have done 1 hour, 40 minutes already. Mute your mic. Chukudi. That is Prince. Please, I want to confirm something for you, okay? Yes, you have a community deliverance calling. I get what I'm saying? Your prophetic mission has to do with land deliverance. So any land you enter, you are going there to somebody please mute your mic. Yes. Okay. So that's your calling, but there is a force, you get me? There is a force that has been limiting your ability to manifest in that place well. Yes. You can put on your video, release your video. So that's one thing I want you to know about you. It's a confirmation to you. In spite of all the difficulties you are facing, you are a ground breaker. Release your video, please. You are a ground breaker. So just get that from me, and we'll do more about that by the time we meet more. Michael. Zadok, which country are you watching from? Michael is from Ghana? Okay. Do you know that you have a very strong prophetic calling for 3 years now? How many years? But for how many years? Did I know you? Okay. I'll show you how it will not be on and off again. Who? Zadok. Zadok from which country? Olamide. Olamide, I want to prophesy to you. Zadok, which country, please? Olamide, I want to prophesy to you. Can you talk to me, Olamide? Oh, wow, your video is not coming on. Nigeria, Olamide. Olamide, you are from a place, Zadok, Nigeria. Every other person, mute your mic, please. Mute your mic. Zadok, Nigeria, I've gotten you. I'm coming back to you. Olamide. Olamide, do you know what you are doing? You are fighting with powers in the forest, okay? You are from a community that has got a kind of a deep physical forestry. And there are a strong, how do you call it? Strong generational, endemic kind of demonic presence in that community. Are you getting me? When God called you, he told you, that is, he told you personally that he wants to use you to break the grounds in that community. That is to change the narrative of that community. Did he tell you that? Okay. And he told you specifically that your grandfather is highly favored before him. And because of the goodness of that man, he picked you to use you. To bring light to that land. But not that your ministry is for that land. Are you getting what I'm saying? So the ministry, where I see the ministry exploding is Lagos. Where are you? You are where? But you are in Lagos. So you see that this is what prophecy is, okay? So push from Moe into Lagos with time. Don't rush. So that's how it works. That's how simple prophecy is. Yes. So you are going to win from Lagos and then bring light to your community. And if I be a prophet, the forest demons in that land where you come from will bow. You're welcome. Zadok. Where is Zadok? I was trying to talk to Michael and Zadok. Michael and Zadok, two of you have got the same spirit. Where is Agrax? Who is Agrax? Agrax, unmute that mic. Let me just give you only one word. It's okay for you. Only one word. There are two things you are battling with. Agrax. Because I'm not seeing Zadok, I'm not seeing Michael. But Agrax, are you hearing me? There are two things that are conflicting about your calling. Are you getting me? Yes, Agrax, there are two things that you are contending that are conflicting about your calling. You are a great teacher. At the same time, you have the healing ministry. So the question now is that when you teach, then the healing doesn't manifest again. So you are like confused. How can I marry the two ministry? Am I correct, Egrax? Okay. We'll settle that. That's a greeting. Don't make me go too far, okay? Where is Tedo, Evangelist Tedo? Tedo. Evangelist Tedo, I want to talk to you. You are from Benue State, right? I'm seeing the name. The name is Benue name. It's not prophecy. That's not prophecy. That one is the name. The name is a Benue name. Evangelist Tedo. You are from a polygamous family, okay? Tedo. Am I correct? So how do I know? Bishop who? Okay. Don't worry, Tedo. The issue is that God is going to use you to do some crazy stuff from that end of the world, okay? God told you specifically that your ministry is going to have a very strong effect in northern part of America. Am I correct? Have you ever had that picture? You know what I mean by northern part of America? God is sending you to Canada. You are going to do great work. Yes. Tedo. Did you confirm that, Bridget? Bridget, where are you connecting from? Wait, let's allow this man to talk. Tedo said Canada what? You have been receiving a series of visions about Canada. I have confirmed it to you. That's where you belong. But don't worry, it's in steps, okay? Bridget, what's the real name of Bridget? Onyeme. Is it Onyeme or how do I call that name? Please help me. Onyeme. From today, Onyeme, from today, you will never fall sick again ministering the word. There is an attack on your health. Are you aware? Onyeme, are you aware? You are what? You have been what, Onyeme? Onyeme is not responding. Bridget from Ghana. That's Onyeme. Please tell me your name. Onyeme, please write it. Your health will not suffer again. Bridget, please, can you talk to me? You are lifting your hand. Let me see you talk. Bridget. Bridget is the name on your screen. What's your real name? Who is the person that want to know your office? Your name. Raymond in Ghana. You want to know your office. Raymond, you are an apostle. Raymond, you are an apostle. You are doubting it. You've been doubting it, right? Yes, you are an apostle. God is calling you to do work, startups everywhere. That's your kind of ministry, Raymond. That's why you are an apostle. The person that is lifting the hand, Bridget, it's like it's not knowing the name on the screen. Pastor Abraham from Nigeria. What's the question? NS2. This one from Ghana. NS2. NS Faith. The sound is not giving me what I want. Yes. Don't unmute all at the same time. Maybe I will attend to you. Mute your mics, everybody. Mute your mics, everybody. Maybe I will attend to you privately during the course. Maybe when you are in the class. Mute your mics. You want to speak with me? Yes, speak less here. Speak less here. That's an issue of consultation, okay? My calling, where I'll start my ministry. You are not a prophet. You are not an apostle. You are not a prophet. You are not an apostle. You are a pastor. But you have the prophetic thing in you. Like Af Lukau. Do you know Pastor Af Lukau from Congo, who is in South Africa? That's you. Have I answered you? Favor or Abraham? Abraham, there is more to some of these things of just knowing the area of calling, because you need complete counsel. Pastor Abraham, you need complete counsel, because the ministry as a whole is in the middle of the sea. You know what that means? Your ministry as a whole is in the middle of a sea. That's is going somewhere, but in the midst of storms. So you need that kind of direction that brings it to the right destination. That's it, Pastor Abraham. So just telling you your call is not enough. I need to guide you how to fight the battle. Abraham, are you with me? All right, God bless you very much. I think we have done justice to most of the questions already. Apostle Favor, you still want me to prophesy to you? Okay, your calling is Apostle Favor. Everybody mute. Let's listen to Favor. Favor. We're almost done. 2 hours. We are at 2 hours now. Dot. We started. Yeah, so we are going to stop somewhere here. You want to continue, like signing up, you can chat in the group or chat me privately after this session. Then I'll guide you on how to sign up for the certificate course in forensic prophecy. And then after your 15 days classes, I will move to, hold on, I'm coming. After the 15 days, I'll pass you through a period of training, of practical coaching for 9 days, and then impartation will follow. 15 days for the training, and then 9 days. So it's the 15 days that's the main thing. My training is already practical oriented. And that's why when people take it, sometimes they don't even take the practical, because they are good to go. And then most people take the first course and then move to the second one straight. Because the first one, I pass you through the prophetic senses and then activate you 5 days. Second week, I take you through everything you need to know about codes and codes. Select them and deal with them there. The third week, I teach you prophetic processes. How do you prophesy like this, and how do you sustain the grace? How do you get it? How do you sustain it? Then advanced approach to court generations. How can I sit like this and begin to create the prophecy? Because I should be able to create prophecy. I should open my eyes like Balaam said, I'm either fall into trance with my eyes open. That's Prophet Balaam talking. He was a prophet before he became a soothsayer. So that's how the training goes. After these 3 weeks, the first week you should be good already. Then the professional course is the diploma in forensic prophecy, where I treat 26 prophetic codes in full, then 20 others in passing in a blended style. Then I did a scientific analysis of the prophetic realm, and then show you prophetic obits and then dimensions of prophecy. We are prophets stay that make them in the prophetic office to be able to prophesy even when they are sleeping. You wake them up, so they don't try to struggle to arrange a message to favor prophecy. No, it's natural. Yes, it's after all those courses before you go to my advanced course that I called systematic forensic prophecy. Systematic forensic prophecy is still higher than the first two. And by His grace, other things. Because I also believe in raising the dead. And I've seen it happen over and over by His grace as I minister. I believe in making cripples to walk. I believe in opening blind eyes, opening deaf ears. So I have a course that is called Certificate Course in Anointing and Supernatural Operations. Yes. Then on deliverance, I'm like TB Joshua, okay? That's my nature when it comes to deliverance. But when it comes to teaching like this, maybe it's a different thing. So it's unlike what people do in some of this world where they don't follow these mentors properly. When I'm teaching, you may say Bishop David Odepo is affecting this person. And then you see deliverance. It's more like TB Joshua. So I have courses on deliverance. Deliverance certificate course. Then deliverance certificate course plus. That takes you to practical processes of doing these things. Yes. Because that's what I do. So let me stop there. It's equipping men of God, women of God around the world so that you can do this thing like crazy. That's the main thing. I think we want to stop somewhere here. I will still allow you to ask me questions personally, okay? I will take some of the questions that I can take. And for those of you who are becoming students, once you join, you take my training. After the training, I add you up to the Prophetic Forum International. In the Prophetic Forum International, you belong in the community where you can access me when necessary. That's the WhatsApp group of Prophetic Forum International. So God bless you, every one of you, very much. That man, what was the name? Was it Favor? Apostle Favor. I said, why are you asking me? The thing is that you have anointing for prosperity. That's your ministry has got to do with breaking grounds for prosperity to happen. Are you getting me? But you have a lot of negative kickback. How will I put it? Is it kickback? That make that a kind of make you almost, if you are not mature, you will doubt the call. Because you are supposed to be far from where you are. So it's just, maybe let's see if we combine and ask God about it. The doors will open. And the grounds will break. Maybe I'll give you one or two ideas from scripture. Take these steps. Let's see the result in your ministry. So speak with me personally on that because of time. Question from Izu. Prince Izu. Who is asking a question? Alale, join the training first before you ask me a question. I'm coming to you, Izu. Alale is the thing is that Alale, do you notice that when somebody is standing from your middle to the right side, you are easily able to prophesy to them. And then when somebody is standing from your middle to your left side, it's difficult for you to prophesy. Okay, that's a greeting. That's a greeting. Izu, talk to me. Okay, Victor, I'm coming. Izu, please. We are listening. Izu want to talk. Okay, Damilola. The training. Yes. Because of time, just go on. Yes. Please interact with me personally on that. Why I make sure you take the first course is that only that course, that first course, the certificate course, has changed a lot of ministries around the world. Ministries, I can tell you clearly, are sound, standing strong. Whether you see them on YouTube, you won't know I trained them. That one have made great prophets. The foundation I lay there is not foundation for babies. So if you catch it from there, you can build anything on it. Yes. That's why it's very important to start there. And there are some things you go to the diploma you can't catch. And for the diploma, there are people. There was one man from Bahamas. He wanted to take my diploma course. And I told him, I'm not afraid of you. I'm not afraid of the course. Take it. If it doesn't do what I say, I've told you, then don't pay. Because I didn't create it. That's it. I didn't. The reason is that I can't brag that I create the course. I can't brag. When you are writing and you hear the Holy Spirit say, write this, write that, then you want to come and take the glory. It will be stupidity to take the glory of God. So my approach to teaching is such that no matter how numb you are, you will be able to catch it. I break it to the point where it's easy for you to catch it. Yeah. Question. Joseph. Damilola? You can do what? This is training for prophetic people. Whether you are a prophet, apostle, pastor, but the fact that you have a prophetic calling attached to that thing, then all the prophetic courses are like that. But the anointing and supernatural operation is for everybody. Also, deliverance. Some people do deliverance. They are not even prophets. Yes. So you take the one that suits you first. But the thing is that for prophets, certificate course in forensic prophecy. Izu. Please, Damilola, mute the mic, Prophet Izu. Izu is talking. Izu is talking. Every other person mute. Joseph mute. Damilola mute. That's the trainings. The training, you chat me on WhatsApp. I will give you the details. I think I already told you the cost of the first course and what I'm doing for this batch. I said this. The ladies have refused to ask questions as if they are not even here. There was one lady I saw. I called her name. She didn't say anything. The lady even talking is hiding her video. Mary, where's your video? Talk to me. Open that video. Okay. Please read those questions. Be reading those questions. If you can screenshot them, you screenshot them. Some of them I can answer them in the group. Mary is talking. Okay. Okay. Onyeme is a lady. Mary is a lady. There's another lady again that I saw. Onyeme, I think I've stopped. I was talking about you will not suffer health attacks. Because I see that target against your body. Then where is Mary? Mary, which country are you joining from? Nigeria. So what do you want me to talk about? I think we're almost done with prophecy. Bobby. Onye. Prophet Jesse, are you talking? Victor. You talk to me personally, okay? I'll guide you on something. I want to guide you on your calling and ministry. I'll talk to you. I'll create time to talk to you. But the issue of your body, do you notice that when you pray, when you are praying, it's like something comes into your neck and then your voice becomes stiff and it becomes difficult to come out. Do you observe that? That's Victor. When you are praying, it's like your voice was opened from the beginning. It gets to a point when you are praying, I mean personal prayer, like isolating yourself to pray. It gets to a point, it's like you are pushing from inside. So it stresses you. It's an attack. That's an attack, okay? You need to step up on the anointing so you can crush that place. Mary, because of she's a lady and she's with us. Victor, I'll talk about your ministry when you chat me personally, okay? Mary. Mary, are you there? Joseph, please mute. Mary. People call you prophetess. Am I correct? Okay. But you notice that your passion, your true thing is evangelism. Yeah, the prophetic thing in you is your secret for drawing souls into the kingdom. So the depth God is going to be taking you to in the prophetic will be such that will be astonishing. So that when you tell people about Jesus, they can't say no to accepting him. So where you are currently is not your class in the prophetic. You are going to be in the prophetic office. Are you getting me? But your functionality is evangelism. Yes, but in operation is prophecy. That's who you are. Onyeme, you are not a teacher, okay? You are an intercessory prophet. That's what I've said. I said you are not a teacher, you are an intercessory prophet. What that means is that your mouth will lose everybody that is tied. So you handle tough issues. When the case is too tough, anywhere they bring it to you, you untie it. That means you are going to commit to prayer than you are doing now. You have not started prayers. Let me stop here, please, people of God. God bless every one of you. God bless every one of you. For those of you who want to sign up, just talk to me in the WhatsApp group or personally. You have any question you want to ask TL, you can ask those questions there. It's okay for today. God bless you. Christ choosing. Christ choosing. What's the question again? Christ choosing. Where are you pastoring? That's the first question. Where are you pastoring? The truth is that after this meeting, if it is allowed in your ministry, which should be allowed actually, get a fresh bottle of anointing oil, fresh one that you just buy. Are you getting me? I'm going to pray for it with you. You are going to take it to your ministry and pour it. I see presence of demonic snakes coming to eat efforts. So the place where the ministry is sitting, the way I see it in the realm of the spirit, is sitting on an altar that was there before you came to take over that place. So the forces they are fighting that ministry. And these are snakes. Choosing. Did you get that? Christ choosing. Anywhere, any oil in the market, buy normal, buy molly or guya in the market. I'll pray for it. Don't worry, I'm going to give you personal attention. You are sitting a ministry on an altar. And these are snake spirits. Yeah. Raymond, I've spoken to you before. Raymond, I spoke to you before when I said you are an apostle. Or do you have two Raymond from Ghana? Or is it Joseph? Well, thank you very much. We can't handle everything in one day. It's okay for today. God bless every one of you. You talk to me personally. God bless you for now. Talk to me personally, okay? In the WhatsApp. It's okay for today. God bless every one of you. Just talk to me on WhatsApp. God bless every one of you for today. Prophet Alex is going to close the meeting with prayer. Prophet Alex, close the meeting with prayer for us for now. Pastor Alex, pray for us. Amen.
Father, we the students that participate, Lord, ask that our giftings, prophetic gifting, be activated fully in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. Lord, we thank you for what you are doing through your servant, and we say you alone take the glory in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. Lord, we also pray that our ministry experience and students are connected to this match. We thank you for tonight. For in Jesus' mighty name we have prayed. And everybody say, Amen.
Amen. God bless every one of you. Happy to host you. We'll keep meeting, give you updates in that group. You can be there. From time to time, I'll give you updates there. God bless all of you. Bye-bye. Shalom.
It doesn't matter the picture of the life you're going through, the destiny is waiting. Moments that seers see with great ease. It doesn't matter the picture of the life you're going through, the destiny is waiting. Moments that seers see with great ease. It doesn't matter the picture of the life you're going through, the destiny is waiting. Moments that seers see with great ease. It doesn't matter the picture of the life you're going through, the destiny is waiting. Moments that seers see with great ease. It doesn't matter the picture of the life you're going through, the destiny is waiting. Moments that seers see with great ease. It doesn't matter the picture of the life you're going through. The destiny is waiting. Moments that seers see with great ease. It doesn't matter the picture of the life you're going through. The destiny is waiting. Moments that seers see with great ease. It doesn't matter the picture of the life you're going through. The destiny is waiting. Moments that seers see with great ease. It doesn't matter the picture of the life you're going through. The destiny is waiting. Moments that seers see with great ease.